Hi guys, welcome back to Couple's Messy Kitchen. Today I would like to show you my recipe for buns that are nice and soft in the inside and have nice crust on top. In a bowl of my mixer I have 500 grams of bread flour. Always remember guys, use bread flour whenever you make buns, breads or pizzas. It really helps the gluten to develop, so always use bread flour for that. To my flour I am going to add 7 grams of dry active yeast. If you don't have active yeast, activate your yeast prior to putting them into your mix. So that's about 7 grams. I'm going to add a teaspoon of sugar to that, just to help the yeast to work a little bit better. Teaspoon of salt for the flavor. There it is. And just mix this a little bit together before adding our liquids. And I'm gonna put the hook on. Use the dough hook for that. And here I have my liquids. This is a cup of water mixed with half a cup of milk, whole milk. If you don't use milk, don't want to use milk, you can use only water. So I'm going to add most of my liquids inside. Leave a little bit for later in case the dough would go too soft. And you can always add a little bit more later on. So we're gonna start that in. I can see that my dough is not coming together, so I'm going to add the rest of my liquids. As you can see, the mixture is very wet at the moment, so I've mixed it for about a minute now. Everything is combined, and now I'm going to add my fat. It's 50 grams of melted butter. I'm adding it now, not at the beginning, just to help the gluten develop before I've added any fat. So that's in. So now I'm going to let it mix for about 5 minutes. I'm going to turn the mixer off, let it sit for about 10-15 minutes to help the gluten relax, and then I'll come back to it and mix it for a further 5 minutes. After mixing my dough for about 5 minutes, I'm gonna leave it to relax a bit, cover it with a cloth, and I'll come back to it in about 10-15 minutes and mix it for next 5 minutes after that. And we're back after 15 minutes. Now I'm gonna mix my dough for 5 minutes or so, and I'm gonna show you how the ready dough is supposed to look like. So here it is guys, our ready dough. It is still very sticky, but it's supposed to be like that. This is what's gonna give our buns its fluffiness. So while handling it, use quite a bit of flour. I'm going to sprinkle it on top first and then kind of fold it underneath the dough so it's easy to handle. If you want to, you can put it in another bowl for rising. I'm gonna leave it in here, but to do so, as you can see, I'm folding the dough underneath. All the flour is gonna go underneath, sprinkling the top, turning it over, give it few folds and sprinkle some more flour on top and the sides of a bowl. And now we're gonna give about hour and a half for our dough to rise. If it's cooler in your house, maybe you'll need more time. The key is to let the dough rise, and it's supposed to double its size. So I'm gonna cover it with a cling foil, and I'm gonna put the tea towel on top and give it time. That's all it needs, time and warmth. And see you in an hour and a half. And there's the dough that's been rising about 1.5 hours. As you can see, it's nice and puffy. It's definitely doubles its size. So now it's time for forming our buns. Sprinkle some flour. Make an even shape, that's going to help us divide our dough. So I'm going to cut it in 3 even pieces and then cut those pieces in half. And maybe again in half. We're going to have 12 small buns that way. And now, side, one, flour, first fold everything inside, just like that, and now you can roll, just like that, nice ball, and put it onto a baking sheet. Everything on the bottom and just roll it just like that. I'm making small buns today, but of course you can make them a little bit bigger if you want to. So here are my buns. I'm gonna let them rise again for about half an hour, and in the meantime I'm gonna show you how to make them nice and crispy. And while the buns are rising, I'm going to show you the secret ingredient that's gonna make the most crispy crust that you've ever seen. In a pan I have 100 milliliters of water, and to that I'm going to add tablespoon of plain flour. We're making water-based roux. You may have seen it or hear about it as a tanzong, which is a Japanese secret when it comes to making a milk bread. But as you can see, we are going to use our tanzong to spread on top of our buns. So we are going to mix it to make sure that there's no lumps, and we are going to cook it, still mixing until it's visibly thickened. Okay, our roux is done. That's how it looks like. Nice and thick. And as you can see, our buns are nice and puffed up. Now I'm going to tear the top slightly. You can use a knife, sharp knife, and score it, but I like the nice and rustic look to them, so I'm just going to tear the top slightly. Just like that. And now we are going to put our roux on top of the buns. Make sure to cover all the top. and the sides. And here are our buns ready to be baked, and I am going to bake them in 220 degrees for about 5 minutes. Then I'm gonna lower the temperature to 200 and bake them for another 20 or 25 minutes until they're nice and golden brown. See you in a bit. And here they are, guys, straight from the oven. They are nice and golden brown. As you can see, they smell amazing, they look amazing. And I'll try to show you the inside of them. They're still hot, so I need to be careful not to burn myself. Look at that. So here they are, guys, nice and soft in the middle. I hope you've enjoyed that video and you're gonna try the recipe yourselves. Take care, bye!